Can I be heard? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, now I can hear this. Anyways, hey, troops, guess who's back? And welcome to everyone who are new to the channel. Welcome back to everyone who knows I'm back. Anyways, as a return stream, I decided to go with the OG Mega Man. Yeah, everybody's going back to retro gaming, so I said to myself, well, why not go back to the retro game that started it all? The Mega Man Collection. Yeah, I'll be streaming on Sundays only around this time. Damn, I forgot how to do the setup, so that's why I was muted for the past 3 minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes. I'll start the stream around 12 noon where I live, and wait 5 minutes so I could start the commentary. Anyways, let's get into the game, shall we? We'll be starting with Mega Man. And I know, the games have, the OG 8-bit games have no story. But if you want to know the story, I suggest you read the Archie comics. They're pretty on par with the whole franchise. Well, there are certain liberties that Archie took making the series, but it's a fun distraction to know the story. And if you played 11, you already know some details of the story. As a little recap, a little FYI, I'm gonna do some mistakes telling the story. So that's the reason I want you guys to look up the story for Mega Man on your own, because yeah, I've been taught that since I was a kid. Sometimes it's better you do your own research. In other words, to find out inconsistencies on one's words. Well, anyways, Dr. Wily and Dr. Light study in the same robotics university. However, there's a difference between Light and Wily. Light followed protocol. He followed the rules. Wily, he broke the rules. And he was hated and shunned by the robotics community. Yeah, and if you played 11, one event was the last straw and Wily left the robotics university. Many people say that Wily was Dr. Light's assistant. Yeah, that's not true. Not true at all. Wily was not an assistant. He was Wily's partner. You see, unlike everyone in the robotics community, Dr. Light was the only one who saw Wily as someone who could do a lot of good for the robots. Here's the thing. The difference, I'll say it again, the difference between Dr. Light and Dr. Wily. Dr. Light followed the 3 rules of robotics, the ones set up by Asimov, the science fiction writer. Wily, he doesn't. Because, here's the thing. Light wanted a world where humans and robots could coexist. Wily wanted a world where robots could be heroes. Super fighting robots, heroes. But in order to do that, Asimov's rules, yeah, Wily did not follow them. And that's why he got the ire of the robotics community. Yeah, Wily and Light started working together after the whole Proto Man incident. And no, Dr. Wily and Light did not work with each other during the time Proto Man's creation. It was all Dr. Light. It was all Dr. Light. They started working together after Blues, aka Proto Man, disappeared. And the reason for that is is that Dr. Light believed that Dr. Wily could help everyone. Could help everyone as much as he can. But problem is that since the robotics community hate Wily, they shun him so hard that they gave all the credits to Dr. Light. And they didn't do anything to Dr. Hey Ducky, how's it going? So, as I was saying, the robotics community did not want to give Wily any credit whatsoever. And Wily felt, yeah, let's say the green-eyed monster got the better of him. Jealousy and envy. So how does he want the world? Okay. Take it easy and make sure that your bosses doesn't see you. You don't want to get in trouble. Anyways, like I was saying, Dr. Wily believed that the only way he can get respect is to prove that he was superior to Dr. Light, aka he took over Light's robots, and you know the story. But here's the thing. We all know that Wily creating the superheroic robot will happen. But we're not going to go there yet because we are going to start the whole franchise right now. And those who have played Mega Man know which robot is that. Those who never played the Mega Man series, you'll find out when we get there. Anyways, let's begin with the first Mega Man. Okay. So, which one is the easiest? That's pretty obvious. FYI, expect me to do a couple of backtracking in some of these games. FYI, I haven't played this game in almost 3 years. Oof. So expect me to do a couple of mistakes. Yeah, let's say I'm doing everything in muscle memory. Oops. Okay. FYI, these games are easy if you know what you're doing. Honestly, I'm a VTuber fan. Very big VTuber. I only watch VTubers for laughs, to be honest. Nothing else. And oh boy, I do feel sorry for Henya. Yeah, she tried... my timing is off. She tried the Mega Man games and oh boy. Yeah, it wasn't a pleasant experience for her. Yeah, let's just say... Let me tell you this, if you're not used to these type of games, yeah, you're gonna die a lot. A lot. As you can see, I am that rough. I mean, close to 3 years not playing? Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Honestly, like I said, the Archie comics takes a couple of liberties with the story, but it's more reliable than any media when it comes to the Mega Man story. Very reliable, to be honest. However, like I said, so many liberties. And how far does the story for the... How far does the Archie comics write the Mega Man story? Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, almost 3 years. So, it's not my fault. Anyway. Yeah, I noticed. Rapid Fire. Yeah, I remember. Rapid Fire. doesn't work well in the first place. You need to use the normal one. So, yeah, as I was saying, the Archie comics goes as far as the beginning of Mega Man 4. But when it comes to Mega Man 4, but when it comes to the lore, you could say they go as far as Mega Man 6. But sometimes they decide to add a couple of the spin-off games. Matter of fact, there's even a section talking about Mega Man X in the Archie comics. Here's the thing. Hey Oscar. I'm glad you can make it. Hello, Steven. Okay. Like I said, almost 3 years, and I'm rusty. Okay, let's see, what else? But like I was saying, the Archie comics, pretty well, to be honest. Oof. Hey Moolah, how's it going? Glad you all can make it. Oh boy, now this one, I really hate it. Like I said, this game has 2 buttons, normal and rapid fire. Don't rely, in this entry, don't rely on rapid fire, it doesn't work. But I digress. So yeah, the Archie comics, yeah, they took too much liberties, but pretty reliable when it comes to the Mega Man story. There we go. Oof. Yep. Yeah, I think that I know why they're not continuing the story of Obsidian. It's because they put their eggs in one basket, aka Diamond. Yeah, big mistake. After COVID hit, yeah, Diamond really screwed up. I mean, if you've seen Clownfish TV coverage, oof. If you've seen the... Yep. True, Oscar. If you see, if you've seen Clownfish TV's coverage of Diamond, yeah, they had a monopoly. And there we go. They had a monopoly in the entire comic book industry. And now they're going under. That's the downside of monopolies, mind you. And I'm not to sound political, and it's not capitalism's fault. It's because they wanted to own the entire market, and it was a big mistake. Anyways, to those who don't know about the weaknesses of the robot, you need to think of it like this. Scissors cut wires. So the next weakness, Electra. Honestly, the one thing about I like the Archie comics is that they also include the remake robot, the robots from the remake, which is Time Man and Oil Man, which explains. Yeah, that has an effect, Oscar, to be honest. Oh, come on. This is what happens when you don't play for almost 3 years. Okay. Honestly, out of all the Robot Master OSTs out, the one I like the most is this one, to be honest. Honestly, the remake for Mega Man, which is Mega Man Powered Up, pretty fun to listen. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Dr. Wily is my favorite. Matter of fact, pretty relatable. If you see the details. Okay, let's see. The one thing everybody hates is here, the disappearing block. But it's pretty easy if you can follow the sound cue. See? I forgot it was the right section, not the left. But like I said, for almost 3 years. Oh, I forgot the sound cue. Like I was saying, I was thinking about the story of Mega Man just now, the entire story. But yeah, like I was saying, Wily does achieve his dream of creating the super heroic robot. But the reason he wants to have this rivalry with Dr. Light and he wants his robots to destroy Mega Man is just to make a statement that he is the best robot designer in the entire world. But that's the issue, isn't it? Because it's not only trying to prove that he's the best robot designer, it's just that... what am I going to go say? Well, I feel like I'm gonna die before reaching the next checkpoint. Oh, I made it. Let's see. But yeah, that's what everybody thinks nowadays. Yeah, I think I made a mistake coming this way. Yep, I know it. Anyways, like I was saying. I forgot. I know, this game has... yeah, I know, yeah, okay. I know that this game has, yeah, but there is another way to get the magnet beam. That's why I'm doing Elec Man first, because the blocks, you can easily break them with Elec Man's attack. Yeah, that's why... That's a good thing about Mega Man. You can get some items with an alternate ability. Okay, let's see. But like I said, it's what people these days think, that if you take out the competition, everybody's gonna gonna buy from you, but that's not the case. And seriously, Wily's following that trope. But to be honest, I really like Wily. He's technically not a misunderstood villain. He's more of a... how should I say the word? He's more of a... kikise. Yeah, this is the reason I go this way, because those robots always annoy me. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's true. That's what I was looking for. Self-justify. There we go. Yeah, but he's more of a cartoon villain if you look at it, because every time he does things, he does them with a flair that reminds me of other villains in other series. One of them being the Riddler, self-glorifying, but unlike the Riddler, Wily is much more relatable. The Riddler, yeah, too narcissistic that I can understand why people hate him. Now I forgot why is it that I always took that route. There we go. But anyways. But the good thing is that yep. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And in the Archie comics, if I remember correctly, he got the idea of time travel because, if I remember correctly, maybe I'm thinking of the animated series, which it took way too many liberties, but because of Mega Man X villains, I'm thinking of the animated series. Because in the animated series, Spark, Mandrill, and Vile travel to the past to team up with Wily to get their hands on the metal that is... Okay, let's wait a little. Oh, crap. The metal that is used to create robots, which is pretty rare. That robot is... like, you can tell why everybody hates this robot. Anyways, they travel to the past to get the metal that most robots are made in the past. And it's pretty rare in the future. Because, I'll tell you this. If they have to go to the past to get that metal, that means it doesn't exist in the future. I mean, I'm not surprised because robots don't exist in the future until Dr. Kane... too soon. Dr. Kane starts creating robots, but they're not robots, they're reploids. You can all see, if you want to know the lore, I suggest you go to the Black Mastodonte. He has lore videos on Mega Man. Of course, you'll have to stand there for over an hour because, oh boy, those lore videos, he really put in enough effort on it. And pretty well thought out, too. Yeah, that's true. It breaks canon in so many ways. Yeah, that's why the cartoons, I don't recommend the cartoons. It breaks canon in so many ways. But like I said, and the reason why Dr. Light gives Wily too many chances is because he believes Wily can do a lot of good in the world. And to be honest, that's true. Dr. Wily has the capability of creating good in the world. That's why Dr. Light gives him way too many chances. And people always ask, why give that criminal any chances? The thing is, Wily, like I said, Yep, exactly. But yeah, Dr. Wily can do a lot of good things in the world. And to prove it is because of the robot that will become his dream robot, the robot that saves the world, becomes a hero in the eyes of everyone. And those who know, yeah, I mean, it is the classic Mega Man. Out of curiosity, how many HP? Oh, this is my last life. Like I was saying, those who play the game already know who's, yeah. Yeah, Base really is the jealous type, to be honest. But, yeah, okay. I don't remember if this has the L1. There we go. Base, yeah, pretty jealous type. Always wanted to be the best robot there is. But, yeah, the ultimate loner, I'd say. Anyways, let's backtrack to this stage to get the magnet beam. Because, like I said, not just Gutsman can break those blocks, Elicman can also do it. Fun. Also, a little warning. When you're fighting a certain boss in this game, don't use the Elec Beam because you're going to lose those blocks. Let's see. No, that's the pause button. No, that's the rewind button. So yeah, this one doesn't have the trigger buttons to change. Let's see. Yeah, this one. Yeah, that's true. Matter of fact, they never fought because Wily passed away before he could finish Zero. Same thing goes for Dr. Light. He passed away before finishing X. And that's pretty sad, to be honest. But yeah, their feud between Light and Wily, yeah, is the reason it literally brings the end of the world. No, seriously, it literally does. If you played the Mega Man Legends storyline, yeah, it takes place into the deep future, way deep into the future. Actually, it's the final arc of the entire franchise, original timeline, mind you. Yeah, it's pretty sad that the story had to go that far. Yep, and it's because of their namesake that actually brings the end of the world. I want to say who they are. Like I said, if you played the entirety of the original timeline, you know that there's 3 scientists in the deep future before Legends that have their namesake, which is Albert, Thomas, and Mikhail. I'm not gonna say anything more because, like I said, we are not there yet. I'm not going to those who are here new, I want you to experience that. But those who already know, yeah, you already know. But yeah, it's pretty sad. Honestly, I would say the only scientist that really had a good head on their shoulders would be Dr. Kozak. Because the reason he created robots is because of his daughter, Kalinka. Pretty nice girl. Honestly, it's a good thing, to be honest. A father trying to create a future for his one and only daughter. I mean, I should know, my brother has a daughter. He's willing to die for her. And that's actually the love of every father. Now, take a look. You. And Magnet. Okay, let's see how many. Yeah, I got 1 each. I can die. Honestly, I can go as far or I can kill myself. Okay. So, this is going to be a little long, so I'm going to... You know, the one thing I really don't like about the classic game is that you want to leave the area because you already did everything and you can't leave. But yeah, like I was saying, a father fighting for the future of his daughter? Yeah, not everybody does, to be honest. I found that out long ago when I was starting playing this game. Okay. Like I was saying, scissors cut wire. And electricity connects with water. And since there's no water here, there's ice. And since there's ice... But yeah, not everybody knows that with the Elec Beam, you can break those blocks. And like I said, since you played this game before, Aurora, yeah, there's a boss in this game that you can't use the Elec Beam because... Okay, that's it. Here it is. Cut. Because, oh boy. you're not going to win that boss fight. And the blocks don't respawn. So yeah. Okay. Ah, thanks, Oscar. Going to work or gonna be lazy all day? Anyways. Or spending time with the family, which is a good thing. Anyways. Have fun. Okay, let's see. Oof! That's it. Okay, let's see. But, yeah. So, yeah, that's the only scientist that has a good head on his shoulders. Kozak. Yeah, that's true. Oof. Anyways. Yeah, enjoy your nap, Oscar. Anyways, for me, the best weapon... Everybody has a favorite weapon in the Mega Man franchise. And that weapon differs per entry. My favorite weapon, which is practically everyone's favorite weapon, is Electro. I'm curious, what is your favorite weapon on the first Mega Man? And I'll say it now, everybody always go for Elec Beam. Honestly, I really like the weapons on the remake. Because in the remake, for example... Oh, good lord. Fine, this is the place where I use the magnet beam. Okay, like I was saying. In the remake, Mega Man powered up. Everybody likes... I like Gutsman weapon in the remake because you don't need to have the blocks next to you to spawn the attack. Oh yeah, I need to use the magnet beam here because honestly, if you've seen Kenya's video on this stage, she really despises it. Yeah, she 100% despises doing this one. And I don't blame her. That's why I went for the Elec Beam right now, because, yeah, I'm not gonna take any chances there. Plus, like I said, almost 3 years not playing this game. Yeah, it seems this weapon doesn't kill this... no, this method didn't. Aww. Oh well, let's hope these penguins drop me some health. Now that's weapon empty. Okay, Elec. Oof. Okay, sometimes we're gonna die. Yeah, Fireman's weapon is pretty OP. Double KO, son of a... Coño! Carajo! Honestly, luckily in later games, double KO is not a thing. But yeah, Fireman's weapon is pretty OP in this one. You can deal heavy damage on enemies. And when you fire it, you create a barrier around yourself. Then there's Cutman's. Seriously, no damage. Anyway, Cutman, yeah, it can reach enemies when you want to hit. So yeah, those two weapons are pretty good. Speaking of Fireman, ice stops fire, so... A little FYI, after I'm done with the first Mega Man, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break because I'm planning on clipping this game later on and post it in in another area, in another website. So everybody gets a chance to see it. Which is my favorite? That's pretty easy. The Mega Man 4. Because it's a Mega Man that me and my brother enjoy. And fun fact, the developers of Mega Man 4 really loves one Robot Master. And it's the same Robot Master that me and my brother love in this entire game. And that is Skullman. Yeah, Skullman is mine and my brother's favorite robot boss. Even the music for Skullman is pretty fun to listen. Plus, I get the feeling that everyone who played Mega Man and didn't know the story of Mega Man 4, they would say, "Oh, this is Skullman is Dr. Wily's favorite robot master because Dr. Wily always uses a skull motif every single time he shows up in games." I mean, I wouldn't blame anyone thinking that because, to be honest, it's something everybody always does say. But yeah, Skullman was created by Dr. Kozak, not Wily. Oy vey. Oh well, that happened. Well, yeah. But that's my favorite Mega Man in the classic series. In the X series, my favorite would be X4. In the Zero series, I would say some people would always go with X2, some people would always go with X3. Mine? I would say I like X1 because it feels... Yeah, the reason they say it's... Yeah, the reason for that is because... Yeah, the reason for that is that people mistake it because, like I said, the original series doesn't give too much lore to the franchise. And everybody always say, Wily is back, Wily is back. And then when they beat all of the 8 Robot Masters, you see a scientist say, "Hey, that's not Dr. Wily, who's that?" Even though when you start the game, you see Dr. Kozak's logo at the beginning of the game. Yeah, some people would like to play these games and just play it without diving into the lore, which, to be honest, that's normal for a lot of people. I almost died. Yeah, I need to memorize. I need to remember those attack patterns because the boss rush mode at the end of the game is gonna be murder. So yeah, like I was saying, Mega Man 0. Which one is my favorite? Oh yeah, fire activates bombs faster. So okay, I'll say this right now. I like Mega Man 0, the first one, because it builds the foundation for the CX series, which is similar to a Metroidvania style. Emphasis the word similar because sometimes it doesn't act that way. It acts almost like the classic series, where you have to accept a mission. Yeah, I really get when that happens. Then 02 goes back to that formula, to the original series, choosing which boss to fight in which order. And the same thing goes for X3. But if I have to say which one is my favorite, it would be X3. I mean 03. Yeah, sorry. I said X. Even though we're talking about the Zero series, I would say 03. Because it helps you dive into the story very deeply. And to be honest, 03 was supposed to be the end of the series, but oh boy, I forgot about you. Let's go with Ice. There we go, he's frozen. Yeah, when you're fighting Joe, you need to... He will always use that shield. Yeah, the thing is that, like I was saying, they wanted 03 to be the end of the series, but there were so many loose ends because of the final villain of the story that, yeah, so many loose ends that says, okay, let's tie up these loose ends so we can end the story on a high note. To be honest, the story did end, but not on a high note. What I'm trying to say is, not to offend people, it did end with Wily getting his wish of Zero becoming the super fighting robot, the hero to save the world. But there were so many things done in that game, it felt like it was forced. It felt a little forced, you know? It felt a little forced. What do I mean by forced? It's just that there were some elements that, I'll admit, did make sense. But at the same time, there were elements that didn't make sense. We'll dive in those when I get to play the game. Because, like I said, we haven't gone there. Should I drop down or go slow and steady? Let's see slow and steady first. Yeah, slow and steady. Ooh. Yeah, I said slow and steady, but I used to time the drops there back then. But like I said, almost 3 years. Oh well, like I was saying. But yeah, Wily does get his wish. Oh, now I remember. The pause glitch. Oof. So yeah. But it's the ending is kind of tragic, but the ending does cement as Zero is the greatest hero that ever lives, aside from X. Okay, and last but not least, bombs take out rocks, so... Oh boy. You know, my timing is... The reason I didn't do Gutsman first... Yeah... True, 100% true. That's the reason I don't like X04 that much. It felt like... They were trying, like I said... I felt like they were rushed, wanted to implement a new mechanic, and it didn't fit in. Yeah, it didn't fit in with the franchise. You know, it would have fitted in if they tried that out. Yeah, Yeah, the one weather I really didn't like in Zero is the stormy weather on a stage like this one, where you had a chance if the wind blew too hard, you were gonna fall to your death. For example, I'll give you an example, and I get the feeling you agree with me. Mega Man 4 Toadman stage. At the very beginning, it was raining, and the weather for the rain, boy, it was annoying. You have to time your jumps right, or you would fall to your death. Yeah, I need to use Iceman here. But you can... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's because, yeah, in Mega Man 4, you could, and as you saw, like I did just now, you can bypass that with, in 4, you can bypass that with Rush Jet. Me? Right now I bypass that with Elec Beam. I mean Magnet Beam. Sorry. Magnet. Okay, need to time this right. There we go. Oh. Crap. Anyways, let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you can bypass those pits with Magnet Beam or Rush Jet. Problem: Zero doesn't have those abilities. You have to time it or jump to your fall to your death. If I remember correctly, Zero has in Mega Man 0 4, he has an ability that he doesn't die through spikes. But if you don't have that ability, yeah, you're going to die fast. And you need to have, I forgot who was the one who makes that chip for you. Because like I said, I haven't played the game in a while. But if you have this resistance scientist, I think his name is the scientist. I forgot his name. Ah, coño. Well, the final Robot Masters are gone. Let's go with Wily. But here's the thing. If you don't have the parts to make that chip, yeah, the spikes are gonna insta-kill you. So yeah, the bottomless pits, yeah, there's no way to counter that. But the spikes, yeah, you can counter that easily. Yep, that's pretty annoying. There we go. Yeah, this is the easiest way to fight these annoying robots. Ice Beam. And then switch to the Rock Buster. Everybody calls it Mega Buster, but I like to go with the OG Mega Man, the OG Japanese name, Rock. Yes, yeah. Let's go back to talking about Wily. Okay. Let me tell you this. Even though Dr. Light trusts Wily, yeah, everyone else around Dr. Light, aside from Kozak, Roll, and Rock, Mega Man himself, doesn't trust Crud. Never trusted one. Yeah, if you read the Archie comics, that the one from that goes for the Mega Man 3 storyline. Son of a coño. Anyways, if you see Wily talking with Dr. Light, talking about how to improve the robot Gamma, this giant robot Gamma, you'll notice that Roll is giving Wily the stink eye. And to be honest, I don't blame her. After all the things Wily has done, I can understand why Roll doesn't trust him. But Dr. Light, like I said, believes Wily can do a lot of good in the world. And we all know he succeeds. Hence the Mega Man Zero story. Let's see. Okay. Speed. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, honestly, I don't blame him. I don't blame Roll to be that way. But yeah. But remember, Rock decided to be that super fighting robot, even though Dr. Light gave him an option not to. Yeah, that's true. 100% true. Yeah. But, yeah, honestly, like I said, don't blame her. And besides, I'll say it now, that's a normal reaction. Very, very normal. Ooh, should I use the magnet beam or should I jump normally? I know I need the magnet beam later. Oops. Too high. There we go. But yeah. But yeah, that's a normal reaction everybody does. Pretty much. Oh crap. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah. And everyone who knows the X lore, yeah, Wily is the one to blame for everything that happened in Mega Man X. And you'll know why. Well, we're gonna dive into that story once I reach Mega Man 10 next week. Oh boy, I hate it. Let me tell you this. I'll say it right now. Congrats to everyone who can beat the Yellow Devil without the pause glitch. But me, I can't do it. I can't do it. Even though I played this game... there? Yep. And fun fact... Fun fact... I keep pressing the wrong button. Fun fact... seriously, I'm pressing the wrong button. Yeah, I'm used to hitting the touchpad for pause. Sorry about this. But yeah, like I was saying, in the original, let me do this first, so I can go into what I want to say. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, like I said, it's been almost 3 years, so I forgot. Yeah, I need to be on the ground to hit the button, not in the air. Yeah, I think I know how to do it. I know it. You know what? Yeah, I need to be on the ground to do it. So I need to shoot the elect beam when the final block hits. Yeah, you know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna use the glitch. Instead, I'll be using the rewind feature, even though I don't like the rewind feature. Oof. Let's see. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, during the Mega Man X series, Dr. Light knows the whole mess was started by Wily, but when X or Zero talk to him when you go visit the arm to get the armor piece for X, he doesn't say names. He tried to keep everything saying like, yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know what's going on. He's actually shielding Wily, to be honest. Because deep down, he believes one day, because here's the thing. I think this is the reason why he doesn't say it. Because Zero is trying, in Dr. Light's side, Zero is trying to fix the mistakes Wily did, but unknowingly. Wait a minute. Okay, let's see. 1-8. Yeah, let's rewind it. I could use I could use the quick save feature to do this fight. So if I don't beat Jello Devil this time around, I'll use the quick save feature. But like I said, Wily doesn't say, Dr. Light doesn't say that it's Wily behind it because he feels like if he tells, because he feels like that if he yeah, I'm close. There we go. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, pretty true. But, yeah, I believe that Dr. Light didn't say anything. Yeah, that's true, but remember, not everybody forgot about Dr. Wily and Dr. Light during the 100 years before the X series. They know about Dr. Light because of the history books. But I would say that history wanted everybody to forget about Wily, so he wasn't included in the history books. Talk about book burning. Oh, yeah, everybody think if they don't know about... Yep, the reason why nobody wanted to think of Wily is because they didn't want anyone to be like Wily if robots actually came back to the world. Which, fun fact, robots did come back to the world. And not only came back to the world, a lot of destruction happened because everybody forgot the history. It's just like everybody always says, if you forget the history, the past will repeat itself. So yeah, removing Wily from the history books, big mistake. And not all in the Mega Man X series who created robots are human, mind you. I mean, reploids. Sometimes the ones who created the evil reploids were actually other reploids. I'll give you an example. Mega Man X6, which many people say it's not canon to continue the Zero series. But it also goes into details that humans are not the only ones to create evil robots. Let's see, where's... yeah. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna die here. Yeah, I know it. Anyways, because in Mega Man X6, we have Kate. And I'll be brutally honest, Kate is not an evil guy. He's just unethical. No different than Wily himself. That's why he was shunned by the scientific community. He broke ethics in the same way Wily did. Let's see, is it fire? Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's why everybody hated Kate. They also, and they elevated Alia. And after what happened with Kate and Alia, yeah, Alia decided to quit her robotic institution and become a spotter for the Maverick Hunters. Yeah, with Fireman's weapon is easy to fight copy Mega Man because of that fire shield you get every time you shoot. Yep. Yep, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. By the way, yeah, pretty much. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, and this is me assuming because I haven't played the Extreme games in a long time either, just like some Reploids in the Mega Man series, the one in the Extreme games, I think it was Extreme 2, Burkana, was created by the same people who created Alia, if I remember correctly, because the two of them have similar archetypes, from what I heard. The only difference is personality-wise. Yep. And all because he was jealous of Dr. Light. A jealousy that, to be honest, not Dr. Light's fault. It was, like I said, matter of fact, I'll say it now. It was actually two reasons. His fault for breaking the rules, and the fault of the robotics community for shunning him as hard as they did. Okay, let's destroy one more of these with a buster, and then we resort to guts. Okay, let's just drop his HP to halfway. But anyways, but yeah, I'll be brutally honest. The robotics community, I'll admit, they were in the right of, you know, questioning his ethics in the field of robotics. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And all because of, yeah, his pride. Yeah. But like I said, the reason the robotics community did that is just so he could be humble and follow the rules. But there were some in the robotics community, they shunned him so hard it just broke him. And to be honest, I can understand why he needed to be shunned, but they also needed to understand that some people just break too easy because they're too prideful. Something that is extremely dangerous. It's like, let me go there. It's like saying to a kid, stay in the corner and think of what you've done. But if you shun him too hard, you're just gonna push them to do things they shouldn't do. Should I risk it? Yep, good thing I risked it. But yeah, I always say everything should have limits. And I'll say this. Shunning him during his university years, yeah, I agree with that. But shunning him after he became Dr. Light's assistant, yeah, that wasn't a good idea. I mean, not assistant, partner. Yeah, that was a bad idea. Very bad idea. Because by doing that, yeah, that's what I believe too. I believe that that's what happened. And guess what? Dr. Wily was grateful to Dr. Light because of that. And that is a good thing, to be honest. But what the robotics community did, yeah, it's not the cause. It's the symptom of why Wily became, actually not became, more like caused the extinction of humanity. Because I always say, everything in life has cause and effect. And everybody will always say that the cause of the end of the world was Wily. No, he's the symptom. Yeah, exactly. Not to sound political here, but I'm gonna say it. Take a look at what happened with Donald Trump during, like I said, I don't want to sound political. Take a look at what happened Donald Trump during the 2024 election. Trump is not the cause for everything to happen the way it did. He was a symptom. And people figured that out and decided to put him into presidency again. Because here's the thing. Nobody wants to go through that again. I'll be brutally honest. Oof. Okay. But here's the thing. That's what life is all about. Cause and effect. When people say, oh, it's his fault, all of this happened. Out of curiosity, if it's true, then what is it that caused him to do that? Simple. The problem is it's cause and effect. That's how everything in life works, cause and effect. Do you know, before going there, do you know that the cause and effect theory was born from another theory? I mean, gave birth to another theory? Yeah, the cause and effect theory gave birth to another theory. That theory being, what is the name again? Oh yeah, the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect gave birth to was originally the cause and effect theory. For something to happen, when something happens, it creates many multiple reasons for something to happen. For example, like we keep saying, Wily being shunned that hard after becoming Light's partner, yeah, that really was a mistake. Exactly. Exactly. If they were a little more lenient with what happened, lenient when he became Light's partner, Wily would have never caused the extinction of humanity. Cause and effect. That's how the world works. Oh, I really hate these arc attacks. Oy vey! Let's see. I still have 2 more lives. But yeah. Sometimes a little leniency can go, an act of kindness can go a long way. I'll admit, I'll say this now. If Wily actually did something wrong during the time after becoming Light's assistant, then yes, call it out. Shun him. But he didn't do anything. Okay, now it's fire. There we go. Oof. Let's rewind that. Like I said, I don't like using the rewind feature. Yeah, that's my mistake. Yep. Like I said, life is all about cause and effect. For something to happen, something must break first. And let me add another villain from another franchise that fits the bill. Okay, now I know. Okay, I'll accept the L here. I'll give you an example. A villain that actually makes that logic make sense. The Joker from the DC Comics. And he said this during The Killing Joke. All it takes for someone to break is to have a very bad day. And Wily? Yeah, he went through that. And let me tell you this, and I'll say it right now. Do I condone all of the bad things Wily did? Hell no! Carajo, coño! Yo nunca lo haría. Never! I do not condone what Wily did. Anyone who does? Yeah, you're too soft. Wily should not be condoned for Wily should not be condoned for doing what he did. Even though it's not 100% his fault, it's still his fault. I know. I get the feeling some of you are saying, no, yeah, I know. Use the rewind feature. No, use the quick save feature. Okay, give me a moment. Let me rewind it. Yeah, here we go. Save. But yeah. I do not condone what Wily did. Even though he's a symptom of the whole thing turning out the way it did. Yeah. You know what? Let's keep it. So yeah, I do not condone his actions. 100%. Yep. I'll be brutally honest. I'll say it right now. I feel sorry for the guy, but I do not condone what he did. And there we go. Mega Man 1 complete. And I'll say this now. Everyone understands who Wily is, what he stands for, but you just can't forgive the crimes he did. It's not a good thing. Okay, now let's read. Yup. Mega Man has ended the evil domination of Dr. Wily and restored the world of peace. However, the never-ending battle continues until all destructive forces are defeated. What is it that Lazard fight Mega Man for everlasting peace? What is it Lazard from Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core would say? Oh yeah, impossible dreams are the best. But anyways, yeah, that's true. Anyways. Yeah, these games are always worth playing. Makes you understand some things about life. Makes you something. You see, here's the thing. I know that games and anime are not to be taken seriously, but in reality they tend to be a warning of what could happen if push comes to shove. Some people, I'm not going to name which groups because I get the feeling a lot of you already know, don't understand that. Some of these stories are a warning of ignoring the possibilities, ignoring the consequences of doing something you shouldn't. I'll give you one anime that warns everybody about it. And I think it's Shimoneta, I think I remember it, that the entire world is undergoing censorship. Yeah. Anyways, next up, Mega Man 2. Exactly. Okay, let's see. Let's quit. Anyways, next up, Mega Man 2. Let's take a 5-minute break before tackling Mega Man 2. Let's see, what time is it right now for me? 1:36. Actually, let's make it a 4-minute break. I'll be right back in 4 minutes. Right now, take a breather, enjoy a snack, drink water, or whatever your favorite drink, and we'll be right back in 4 minutes.